Hello, my dear students of the first prep. I'm Mr. Wissam, your English teacher. Today we are going to study New Hello, Unit 12, My Future, Lessons 1 and 2, Vocabulary and Reading. أهلا بكم طلابي الأعزاء، طلاب الصف الأول الإعدادي. النهاردة هندرس مع بعض الوحدة رقم 12 من منهج نيو هلو، الدرس الأول والثاني، الجزء الخاص بالكلمات والقراءة. Let's start with the key vocabulary. Accountant, architect, businessman, businesswoman, computer programmer, photographer, engineer, interview, research, scientist, writer, marine biologist, pilot, dentist, laboratory, business, design. لاحظوا معايا انه الكلمة اللي قدامها ان دي noun واللي قدامها في دي الفيرب، في اسم وفي فعل. وفي كلمات ينفع الاتنين verb و noun زي interview يجري مقابلة أو مقابلة شخصية. Okay, let's study the following definitions. تعالوا مع بعض ندرس التعريفات اللي جاية. An accountant, a person who works with money and numbers، ودي معناه المحاسب. A businessman, okay, a man who works in business. Businesswoman, a person or a woman who works in an office and goes to meetings. A dentist, a person who looks after people's teeth. Scientist, a person who works with science. An architect, a person who designs buildings. An engineer, a person who designs and mends, who works with machines, engines, and buildings. A pilot, a person who flies a plane. A marine biologist, a person who studied the ocean, the plants, and animals in it. A computer programmer, a person who writes computer programs. Engine, a machine that makes something move. Teacher, a person who teaches students. Machine, an object, often electric, that can do jobs for us. Meeting, a time when people who work together can talk about important things. Photographer, a person who takes photographs. Writer, a person who writes books or articles. Laboratory, a place where scientists work and do experiments. Test, to check or do a scientific experiment on something. Reading, my uncle has got a very interesting job. He's an engineer. An engineer is a person who designs machines and engines. My uncle designs engines for planes. I'd like to be an engineer one day. My aunt is a businesswoman. That's an interesting job too. A businesswoman and a businessman are people who work in an office and go to meetings. Amir. My dream job. This week we interviewed Nisma El Suri, marine biologist. What's a marine biologist? A marine biologist is the person who studied the ocean and the plants and animals in it. Why did you decide to become a marine biologist? I'm good at science and I love the ocean. The animals in our oceans are really beautiful and interesting. What's your day like? In my job, every day is different. On some days, I go diving around coral reefs. On other days, I test water from the ocean in the laboratory. I also spend a lot of time on the computer writing the results of tests. What's the best thing about your job? My research helps to protect the plants and animals in the ocean. That's the best thing. It's really important to look after our planet, isn't it? And what's the worst thing? There are bad things about every job, aren't there? Sometimes the weather is terrible. It isn't nice to go out in a boat for a dive when there is a storm. Okay, let's do this quiz. Choose the correct answer. Hiba works in a bank. She is actor, accountant, teacher, nurse. Ayman's hobby is taking photos. He wants to be dentist, businessman, engineer, photographer. Number 3, Amr's uncle is a famous, he designs new buildings, writer, architect, dentist, computer programmer. Number 4, Naguib Mahfouz is a famous, he wrote many novels, programmer, businessman, writer, scientist. نشوف الإجابات. Heba works in a bank. She is an accountant. Number 2, Ayman's hobby is taking photos. He wants to be a photographer. Number 3, Amr's uncle is a famous architect. He designs new buildings. Number 4, Naguib Mahfouz is a famous writer. He wrote many novels. We have come to the end of our lessons. Thanks for watching this video. See you next time. Have a wonderful time.